Well, my entire family is Republican, and I would say about half of my really good friends are Republican. And it's been very challenging, but we don't talk a lot about the issues anymore. We used to. That makes me sad because I don't think that change can happen, and I don't think that positive things happen when people stop talking.
President Trump taking up the radicalization of the Democratic Party, the Dems, during his rally in Council Bluffs, Iowa last night.
Radical Democrats were on a mission to resist, obstruct, delay, demolish, and destroy.
I read his words. I see his Twitter.
The Democrats don't like being called an angry mob, but really, that's what they've become. If we brought George Washington here and we said, we have George Washington, the Democrats would vote against him, just so you understand.
I hear him at his rallies.
In their lust for power, the Democrats have become totally unhinged. They've gone crazy.
I just think this is a man full of hate. If he has a 91% approval rating within his own party, and recently a study came out that said that he is the most popular president within his own party of any president since World War II, that only can lead me to believe that I don't live in the America that I thought I lived in. If so many people approve of what he's doing, approve of his rhetoric, approve of his policies, this is not the country I thought I lived in. These are not the countrymen I thought were my countrymen.
Country over party is the belief that when we're running campaigns and we're electing people to public office, it shouldn't be about Democrat, Republican, Independent, Tea Party. It should be about what you're going to do for your country.
We're at a crossroads and an inflection point. And it's been created, I think, in part because of the polarization of our representatives and our thinking.
We're not a red country or a blue country, but that's the way American politics and society is nowadays. At the end of the day, we have to remember that we can go to a red district as a Democrat and feel fine. We can go to a blue district as a Republican and feel fine. We're supposed to identify as a nation and a people, not as partisan.
We need to focus on making sure that we're healthy as a country before we go about distinguishing ourselves in terms of what team we play on or what tribe we affiliate with in the way of our parties.
When it comes down to how you vote in Congress, you're doing what you think is best for your constituents and for the country as a whole, rather than how the leadership of your party or special interests that control your party tell you to vote.
We really do need people in government who are working in the best interest of their constituents. And to put people in government that are like that, it's really important.
So Josh is running to represent Congressional District 4 in New Jersey, which has been an office held by Christopher Smith since 1981, I believe, 1980 or 1981. Which is almost as long as I've been alive, and it's longer than Josh has been alive.
Mr. Speaker, there is nothing whatsoever benign or caring or generous or just or compassionate or nurturing about abortion.
Unfortunately, right now, the representative that the 4th District has cares about his party, cares about his party's ideology.
Well, just like Obamacare was phased in, over the course of several years, it's not likely that Obamacare will be eliminated overnight, but it is an egregiously flawed model. I know that
it's a very conservative district. When I came on board, we were R+8. I believe we still are. And Josh, given his military background, the service he's given to this country, and his message of unity and country over party really spoke to me. And I completely changed where I was, where I began.
We have a chance to bring a new generation of leaders to Washington, and that's what people want. Yeah. I know that because I've been listening. Congressman Pallone is a listener. Leadership is about listening. Senator Booker is a listener. Leadership is about listening. And I've been listening around this district from Allentown and Hamilton and Howell, and I hear people want leaders of
Josh
change.
knows how to get things done.
They want people that
so
show
he
up.
is an incredibly hard worker, and he really produces results. As his wife, I've seen him he was second in command of a ship in Bahrain, and he just really knows how to get things done.
Josh is really good at motivating everyone. He comes in and is, hanging out with all the staff and the interns, and is really accessible, even when we wish he would just keep making phone calls in this office.
Josh really brings people together. He's super focused on the community. He is always giving back. He's, really interested in speaking and working with veterans because he is one. And I think that since there are so many veterans, especially in the 4th District here in New Jersey, it's really important that their voices are heard, as well as everybody else involved, especially young people. There's a lot of older people. He's really reaching out to all different age groups and backgrounds, and I think that he's creating a positive mindset by saying, like, we can get this done together. We will do this, and it's going to happen.
I want to fight injustice. I want to return to love and push back on hatred.
I never thought I would be here because this isn't something that I was always interested in. But now, I'm encouraging my friends to vote. I'm telling everybody that it's so important. And, you can't just sit back and let things happen. You have to go out and make the change yourself.
And now is the time for veterans to stand up and run towards the fire and protect that same Constitution we defended abroad right here at home. That is why veterans are running for Congress, and that is my message. Country over party. Country over partisanship. Let's put our American values first before the hyper-partisanship that we see on TV and we read in the newspaper every day. I think that's what people are thirsting for.
I mean, one of the reasons, again, I joined too is that I look at the current administration and things that are going on, and so personally it's a positive outcome because we feel as if we're supporting a candidate who will push views and represent individuals that will put this country back on track.
And specific to New Jersey and CD4, we need representation who will listen to us and who will respect our rights to live the way we want to live and not impose extreme ideology upon us as we have right now with our current leadership.
Josh is running on a message of country over party. And one of the biggest things that he's standing for is to keep a country united.
If this district really wants to move forward with the rest of the country, then we need to elect new leadership. And I think Josh and the campaign itself is putting forward the message of moving forward, uniting a party, and uniting a people as one.
This is the first campaign I've worked on that has been focused around country over party. And so, one of the positive things it's done for me is put aside a lot of the partisanship that I normally face on campaigns, and really focusing on policies and talking about ways that we're going to improve this country.
Now we have a red America, and we have a blue America, and people can't talk, and people can't debate, and we want to get above that. The veterans running for Congress see a better future. They see a future committed to purpose, to mission, to the Constitution.
This patriotism, know what the word means. It means love of country. And I purport to you that you cannot love your country unless you love your fellow countrymen and women. And I tell you right now that love is not a being word. Love is an action word.
My husband was convinced that all politicians were toxic and wanted nothing to do with them. And it's ironic that he's the one that followed Trump's Twitter feed for a long time because I couldn't bring myself to see what Trump was tweeting on a regular basis, but I'd wake up and my husband was having a cup of coffee. Did you see what he... So it kind of reinforced his idea that, all politics is toxic. And given this sense of catharsis that I wanted to feel getting out, getting involved in doing stuff, when I got involved with the campaign, I knew better than to ask him if he wanted to get involved. But I think he's been convinced over time by osmosis and through hearing about my experiences that there are decent people in politics and there are people that want to do good and get involved for the right reasons and legitimately want to help. And I think that's what he's seen through in the passenger seat on my journey with Josh's campaign. And I think it's changed his perception that there are some people who are in it for good.
We're in the wrong spot?
We're in the wrong spot.
Where do we need to go?
We have to go 2 blocks north.
All right, we're going to do that.
Polls are open until 8 p.m. Everyone needs to go out and vote.
Yes.
Historic election. We have a chance. All the power is in our hands. The country we want, the leaders we want, the types of policies we want, health care we want.
Show everybody what we're made of, that we can vote even in the rain. That's how important it is for us to get out and make our voices heard.
The Welle campaign is important in theme because it's something that we need to start talking about. We need to start having these conversations about the importance of electing people for what they're going to do for the country and not what they're going to do for their party.
We spent last night at 2 in the morning in a homeless tent city almost. People who have been sleeping in tents for years because they can't afford their own home. And Reverend Brigham taught us about how if we just had the right policies in place, everybody could hang their hat and have a piece of land for themselves, and from that, they could be happy and achieve the American dream. That's what I'm committed to doing when we get to DC.
I think that Josh has this like never-ending belief in people that we can achieve things that might seem out of grasp, but we get there because there's a great emphasis on teamwork and meeting these high expectations, and we've gotten there.
If legislators were acting in a more bipartisan way, they might take into consideration that not only is the legislation they're supporting good for people that they represent, but also is good for people who may be on the other side.
And we need leaders who are willing to work across the aisle. And I think that people who have served their country and are veterans have a willingness to do that. And there's a lot of people that are running this year that believe in this message, and it's been something that we stand true to. It means you still have principles for what you want to pass, but that you're willing to work with others to get there.
When your children look back and ask you, what did you do, Mom and Dad, in 2018 to make sure this country moved forward? I want you to say you gave everything. I want you to say you volunteered and you knocked on doors like Pam. I want to say you contributed and you made sure that the resources were there to get the message out that 38 years in office is too much, and we need a new generation of leaders in Washington to move us forward. I know you all love this country. We're about country over party. We can do this in Central Jersey. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for everything you will do.
So if we can shift the focus generally to country over party and remind people that it's fine to have preferences and affiliations as far as politics is concerned, but it's not an end game. And sometimes one team gets the ball and sometimes the other team gets the ball. And that's the way it has to go for us to persist as a country.